10, kenal crew pump ladder with duty officer. Kenal crew pump ladder with duty officer. Number 33 Alpha, Pagoda Street. Number 33 Alpha, Pagoda Street. River Subhouse Fire Station.
Station 10, receive you, Roger 5. Two pump ladder, duty officer, number 338, Pagoda Street, shop house on fire.
L33 November out to block 33A, Pagoda Street, over.
Come on, come quick! Have a look at this! Let's put it up. Okay, sure. Sir! Better come look at this, sir!
Where's the hit?
Joe, get a clear shot of this. Inspector, do you know why this was done to this man? Do you think it was a victim of revenge?
Do you mind, Vince? This is a private police investigation.
I just want to get some facts.
We'll release the police statement when we're ready. In the meantime, please stay away from the crime scene. Thank you.
All right, let's go.
What the hell happened to this guy, man?
I wish my wife was here to see this. No head, nothing to say. Will scare the hell out of her. Best way to shut her up. See here? The cut's very smooth. Probably one quick chop with an axe. Perfect aim, though.
What do you mean?
The head's chopped off at the exact spot where there will be minimum bleeding. Same with the hands.
25 years, huh? I've never seen anything like this, boy.
How? Any way to identify him?
Gentlemen, this is a very interesting case. You see, no head, no dental records, no hands, no fingerprints, no IC, no easy way out. So logically, we may seem
I'll
stuck.
never ask for well-done steak again.
Hey, what are you doing here?
So, doctor, how
Excuse me, you can't come into this place.
Tell me.
Look, this is a restricted area.
I know. I have full permission. Doctor,
You guys better get out of here before I have to physically move you guys.
You better go and check with your ASP. How do you manage to identify this man?
We will have to check his blood later on. We have to look further into the blood because that's the area we haven't looked into yet.
Miss Tracy Teo is here to make a pilot show for television, aimed at making the public aware of what we do here. Cooperate with her.
So you're joking?
And which part do you find amusing?
Is she gonna tag along everywhere we go?
No, she's only allowed in certain areas, and she's well aware of that.
Not aware enough. She was in the autopsy room. Is she allowed to be there?
No, she knows that. I'll have a word with the executive producer. You just make sure you cooperate with her. And that's an order.
Inspector! Inspector, wait up, please.
Look, let's get one thing straight. I may have to work with you, but
But what?
stay out of my way.
I'm just here to report the facts and I have full permission.
Look, mister, what you have are limits. You better learn how to stay within them. She's such a pain.
Take it easy. She's probably not that bad.
Well, you're lucky you haven't met her. For the past 2 days, she's been a total pain. Every time I turn around, she's there, bugging me about this headless case.
Any progress?
Nope. Still can't find a way to identify the guy.
What about Dr. Soo? Hasn't he come up with anything yet?
She's been bugging him too, actually. But I think he likes it.
What looks better? This? Or this?
You look good either way. Joe. Standing by.
Tips rolling and cue.
We're in the lab of Dr. Soo, a leading forensic expert. He has more to tell us about the discovery of a burnt body found in Pagoda Street 2 days ago. Doctor, any further development since I last interviewed you yesterday?
Yes, I can tell you that.
Pat, what do you think you're doing?
You're not supposed to be in here.
Says who?
ASP Chandran. And he wants to see you. Now. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you.
Joe, let's go. Thanks, Doctor.
Doctor, the future, if there's anything to do with her, please go through me first.
I was just doing my job.
You're supposed to work with the police, not antagonize them.
I'm not. It's just that I can't seem to get the proper information. So I thought that the best thing to
Isn't
do...
Inspector Chin cooperating with you?
It's like squeezing blood out of a stone. Look, sir. If you want me to produce a proper show, I can't be too restricted.
You were well aware of our guidelines when we first agreed to do this. If they weren't satisfactory, then you should have brought it up at that time.
They're fine, they're fine. Now you know your limits. Work within them.
Yes, sir.
So what do you have?
From the length of the femur bone and the width of the hip area, I would say that his height is approximately 1.74 meters. And he's roughly 50 years of age.
You can get all that from this, sir.
Yeah.
The marvels of forensic science. I can even give you another piece of information from his blood.
Like what?
Not a lot of people in Singapore have this sort of blood.
Oh, rare type, is it?
Not really. It's becoming more common nowadays. Unfortunately, it is also...
What is so special about his blood?
He was HIV positive. He had AIDS.
But how could you be so sure it's my husband? I can hardly recognize the thing.
You filed a missing persons report the day after the body was found. Well, the general description matches.
And the burnt shop house belonged to him.
But still, maybe some other person was in there.
We checked with MOH. Lawrence Tang was on the AIDS list.
Mrs. Tang, you did know about your husband's sickness.
He told me, but he made sure I never got it.
Your husband, did he have any enemies or business rivals?
He was a successful businessman. Of course he had some enemies. But nobody deserves to die like this. How can I even bury him?
No need what? He doesn't deserve it anyway.
Daryl? My son, they're from the CID, Inspector Chin and Sergeant.
Look, Mom, I have to go.
Oh, hang on. We've got a few questions for you.
Look, I've got a meeting with the bankers. Okay, what'd you want to know anyway?
Where were you the night your father was killed?
Inspector Daryl would never...
I was at the movies.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Look, I have to go. Listen, if you really want to talk, I'll be at my dad's office by 12, okay?
He's upset about his father, but I'm sure he never killed him.
Father and son, were they close?
They used to be. Until Lawrence got AIDS.
You told your son.
We thought he could take it.
This is Mr. Mutusami, Inspector Mike Shin. He saw Mr. Tang entering that building that night.
We've been checking around. Seems like not many people know Mr. Tang. You did?
Yes, yes.
Was he alone that evening?
Yes, yes. It was very funny. He always come with young lady, but that day he was alone.
Young lady. Do you know her?
No, 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 no. Every time he come with different one.
Probably too busy doing something else.
Yeah, he and his love nest.
That day I think he was fighting with someone. Shouting very loud.
Did you see who he was fighting with?
I think it was his son.
Thanks.
He said he'll be in at 12.
He called. Said he'll be in by 3.
Not easy, for Daryl, having to take over here.
He's been waiting. Always thought he could do better.
You mean they didn't agree in business?
That's not the only thing they didn't agree on.
What?
Look, I shouldn't be saying anything. After all, Daryl's my boss now.
So anything you know, you better tell us now. It's for your own good.
Father and son, they didn't agree on a lot of things, but they sure had the same taste in women. One particular one at least.
Wait, you don't mean they were, what, sharing?
No, Mr. Tang got her. He had more to offer.
Do you know her name?
Ruby Chow.
Does she work here?
Not anymore. Though, I really don't know what they saw in her. I mean, she was one of those tough women, you know, who always got on your nerves.
Mr. Chin! Mike, wait up!
What do you want?
Any progress on the headless case?
When I have some information, you'll be the first one to know.
Look, we seem to have gotten off on the wrong foot. Let's start again, and I promise not to get in your way. Mike!
Look, I'm meeting someone here, then going for lunch. Is there anything else you need?
Can I come?
Finally.
Sorry, got a little distracted on the way here.
He's never going to introduce us. Hi, I'm Tracy Teo.
Inspector Lane Tay. I heard about
Elaine, let's... Sorry. Yeah. He's back. I'll be right there. Sorry, I gotta go.
It's okay.
You gonna join me?
Sure, let's go.
Finding someone to share this with me.
You mean Mike doesn't like this? Oh.
He's into health food, so it gets quite boring for me sometimes. Yum, yum, yum.
This is good.
So your work must be quite interesting, huh?
Oh, not half as exciting as yours, I'm sure. I'm sure you've handled quite a few exciting cases, haven't you? Any of them as fascinating as this headless case?
Not really.
Can you imagine that? Kill a guy, cut off his head, his hands, and then burn him? What a great story. Oh, any ideas about new case? Because Mike won't talk to me yet.
Yeah. Mike's really busy. When he knows, you'll know.
That's what he keeps telling me, but I can't wait that long. I must do something myself.
When you sink your teeth into a story, you don't let it go, do you?
No. Once I see something I want, I go for it. I won't let anything or anybody get in my way.
So why do you hate your father so much?
Why not? He's never around. Always abroad on his so-called business trips. If you ask me, I think he deserved to die.
So you killed him?
No.
You wanted to.
Well, look, he didn't get AIDS from a blood transfusion, okay? Bad enough he was sleeping around with those prostitutes behind my mother's back. Hello? Ah, Mr. Sim. Yes. I see the bill is due. Okay, you give me a day or so. Okay. Do you know how many of those calls I've had today? My father is never around. Let his business go to hell because of those women.
We know your father's been using his shop house as a place to meet those women.
We also know that you had a fight there with him on the day he was killed.
So?
So what were you two arguing about?
I want to use the shop house as a retail store. He wanted to use it as his meeting point.
Was he meeting someone there that day?
Probably.
Any idea who?
Who cares?
Could it be Ruby Chow?
My secretary has a big mouth.
Must be a big blow to your ego when she picked your father over you, huh?
She picked his money, not him.
So now that he's gone, you have all his money and Ruby Chow all to yourself.
Who wants her now? She's got AIDS.
We have to talk to you. Now.
What do you want?
Lawrence Tang. Are you aware that he's dead?
Really? That's the best news I've heard in a long time.
You're happy he's dead?
He gave me AIDS. I don't deserve this, you know. I didn't do anything wrong.
No, not really. You were just sleeping with a married man. Where were you on the night of November 12th?
At home with my boyfriend,
What's his name, please?
Jeffrey Sim.
Where can we find him?
He'll be here in about an hour's time. He's got a class.
Does he know you have AIDS?
No. You're asking me all these questions. Why don't you ask Lawrence's son? He really hated his father.
Because you went with his father, not with him.
No choice to be made there. Father had the money, son, nothing.
Lawrence Tang had AIDS. You have it now. So naturally, you have the best motive.
You asked me, did I think he deserved to die? Yes, I did. But did I kill him? No, I didn't. Why don't you ask Lawrence's other girlfriends? Or Peter Low?
Peter Low.
His best friend. But he's got AIDS too, so you better hurry. Don't know how long you'll last.
You think this Peter Low can tell us anything?
Ruby said he's Lawrence Tang's best friend. He should know whether he had enemies.
Yeah, but Ruby also said he had AIDS.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. So many people have it nowadays. Ruby said you might be able to help us, Mr. Low.
Come on, have one. They're good. Please.
Thanks, but I don't eat chocolates.
I shouldn't be eating them too. But I always keep a box in case someone comes to visit me. No one has so far. So?
This Lawrence Tang, do you know if he had any problems with anybody?
I heard he was having some business problems. But I can't think of anyone who was angry enough to kill him. Especially that.
Shall I call your maid to bring your medicine?
I don't have any.
Didn't your doctor prescribe anything when he found out?
I was tested overseas.
So you didn't see a doctor here?
What for? There's no cure. The last thing I needed was people finding out I had AIDS.
Did you tell your wife?
I did. She took the kids and left me. She thought she could get it just by staying in the same house as me. She told our friends too. I haven't heard from any of them since the day she left. Not even a phone call. They probably think they could get it through the phone lines too.
What about Lawrence Tang? He was your best friend, especially since he has the same illness.
He was angry at me. When I found out I had AIDS, I told Lawrence to stop fooling around. It just wasn't worth it.
He wouldn't listen?
He laughed at me, said it could never happen to him. It did. You know what the worst part is? He still wouldn't stop. He continued fooling around, not caring who he had given it to. Ruby's got it now, right? I wonder who else he has given it to. It should be me that died, not Lawrence. For he still had something to live for. His wife, she knew. And she still stayed with him.
There. That's the shot we need. Nice way to end the scene.
More tears, more ratings.
That's not the point.
Isn't it?
Look, I'm making people more aware, and I don't see what's so wrong about it.
Nothing. If you didn't sacrifice those noble intentions for the sake of ratings.
Why don't you take that arrogance of yours and shove it up your nose?
What?
Look at that face. Doesn't it make you feel anything? If we show this, people will feel for her. Just like that homeless woman on Extraordinary People.
Yeah, but she's not homeless.
She is a victim.
When you stopped the tape earlier, you said, nice shot. You didn't say victim.
Look, I take pride in what I do. And if you don't like that, that's your problem.
What are you thinking about?
Nothing really.
You don't have to get so worked up about it. It's just a TV show.
Yeah. But what if the murderer sees the show and decides to leave the country or something?
Maybe the show won't even go on air.
I still don't get it. The head, the hands, why were they cut off?
To avoid ID.
Then why bother burning the body?
Mike, why are we even talking about this? We're supposed to be having a good time. No, we're always talking about work nowadays. Can we sit down?
Yeah, sure. So, what do you suggest we talk about?
Actually, I wasn't really in the mood for conversation.
So you think Ruby did it?
What better motive than revenge? Maybe she didn't take the jewelry he bought for her. See? Bought her a pair of diamond earrings.
Wow. Rich fella, huh? Hey, take a look at this date. Ruby said she left him 6 months ago, right?
So why would he buy a pair of earrings 3 months ago?
Made to order one some more. Wonder who he bought them for.
There's only one way to find out.
So sad. He was one of my best customers.
Did he buy this for any one of them?
No.
You sure?
Of course. Jewelry is a very personalized business. You have to know each customer's preference, their size, and what suits them.
Mr. So, do you know who he bought this for?
Yes. Yes, it was for Julie.
Julie? Don't remember anyone with that name.
She's thin, long hair, fair, around average height.
Come on, think harder, Angela.
Well, actually, there was a Julie here some time ago. But there's no way she would have been going out with Mr. Tang.
Why not?
She was a mouse. Sometimes you would even forget she was here. Not the type to have an affair with a married man.
Do you have the details?
Sure. Here, Julie Wee. She quit 3 months ago. Do you need a secretary, Inspector?
Sorry?
I'm available.
Not really. I already have one. Oh, this Mr. Tang and his woman.
Yeah, what did they all see in him?
Well, he was loaded.
Hey, there he is.
Who were those guys?
You hired them to kill your father, right?
Of course not. They were loan sharks. My father, he didn't pay them, so they come after me.
Are you sure or not?
Yes, I'm sure. Besides, if I wanted to kill him, I would have done it myself.
Oh, so you did?
No, no.
Come on, Daryl. He cheated on your mother. I lost all the money in the business. Stole the girl that you liked. You're telling me you didn't have enough reasons?
My mother, she loved him. If I had killed him, that would have hurt her. And I would never do such a thing.
Seven, six.
No, it's 0305.
Hi, Julie Wee. We're from CID. We understand you know someone by the name of Lawrence Tang.
We'd like to ask you a few questions. Can we come in, please?
Okay.
He was my boss.
Someone told us he was more than a boss.
He wasn't.
Miss Ree, this is serious. If you were seeing him, you better tell us now.
I wasn't.
We're told that you were.
Who are you?
Inspector Mike, Sergeant Allen from CID. And you are?
Dr. Henry Wee, her father. Is there a problem?
No. They were asking me about my old boss, you know, Mr. Tang.
What about him?
He was murdered and they think that...
We have information that she was...
Was what?
That she was seeing Mr. Tang.
Nonsense. If you don't mind, she's not well. It's time for medication. If you like, we talk about this some other time.
Right.
Dr. Wee, Lawrence Tang had AIDS.
Your daughter doesn't look too good. Maybe she should get tested.
She's recovering from pneumonia and she's anemic. But thank you for your concern.
Lawrence Tang's mistresses. Now you promised to keep me informed.
You sound pretty well informed on your own.
Look, I've been very patient with you, but I think you're
Come on, we got so much work to do here. All right. Alan, what do you think?
I don't know. What do you think?
I asked you first.
I think I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
But I thought you thought that...
No, actually what I thought was that you should be thinking of...
Thanks. Julie Wee is not on the MOH list.
So she doesn't have AIDS?
Doesn't mean she wasn't having an affair.
No, and Mr. Soo positively ID'd her picture. She's the one with the earrings.
She wasn't wearing them, though.
Well, if she tries to sell them off, we'll be hearing from the pawn shop soon.
You think she's telling the truth about not having the affair?
Hard to tell. You saw all those medicines? She looked really sick.
Maybe one of them's for AIDS. Come on, Julie. The pawn shop owner positively identified your picture.
There's no use denying it, Julie. We know that Lawrence Tang gave you that.
As a present. Because
you were sleeping with him.
Did you kill him, Julie?
No. I loved him. I could talk to him. And I thought he really loved me. But I didn't kill him.
Then why did you lie to us before?
My father. How could I admit to him or to anyone else that I was sleeping around? Especially with a married man.
You still shouldn't have lied to us.
But I broke off with him a few months ago.
Because you found out he had AIDS.
Julie, you didn't know?
No. But I just had my blood tested last month. And nothing's wrong.
Sorry. Yeah. Excuse me.
Is this for your anemia, Julie?
I'm not sure. My father just brought all these home and told me to take them. I really don't know which medicines for what.
Julie, your father didn't find anything wrong with your blood test.
No.
You are sure?
Yeah. He would have told me if there was anything wrong. Wouldn't he?
Psst, Ellen.
Excuse me.
Mrs. Tang down at that station. She just confessed to the murder of her husband.
And then I lit the match. and ran.
Really? So what did you use to burn down the place?
Kerosene, right?
We found petrol.
Yeah, petrol. I made a mistake.
You didn't kill him.
I did. I did. I did.
She didn't do it.
No, she thinks Daryl did it. She's trying to protect him.
It was AZT.
Huh?
The pills Julie was taking. AZT. Commonly prescribed for AIDS. She's got AIDS.
Then why wasn't she on the MOH list?
Maybe she tested positive overseas. Or the local doctor didn't report it.
He has to report it, or he will lose his license.
Unless the doctor is the patient's father.
Now do you believe me?
No.
You think I falsified the report? That's an offense. I lose my license.
Better than losing your daughter, right?
What are you talking about?
Why, Dad?
Can someone please tell me what's going on?
I've AIDS, Dad. AIDS. You knew about it. Why didn't you tell me?
Who told you that? Them? They don't know.
We do. We know that she's been taking AZT.
And you told her? You have no right to.
I found out myself. You have no right not to tell.
I was trying to protect you, Julie.
Like when you killed Lawrence Tang.
He deserved it.
You mean...
He deserved it. Burning his hands and head in acid was still too good for him.
What?
It's time to go, Doctor.
Doctor, can you sign this?
I'm not going with you.
Dad! Dad!
Give away!
Easy. Let her go.
Give away! You give away from me! Give away from me!
Hey, we can talk this out. Please, don't make it any worse.
It can't get any worse.
What about your daughter's life?
Look at her! What life has she got left?
Dad, please, don't do that.
Julie, come here. We'll go away from here. And I'll take care of you like always.
Dad, let her go.
Julie, come now. No! Julie, come here now. No!
Dad! Dad!
What do these girls have in common? Expensive jewelry, a lavish lifestyle, and this man, a smooth operator who fooled around too much and lost his head. Literally. Who was his killer? Who cut off his hands? Who was the executioner who meted out what was probably the most symbolic murder in the history of local crime? Find out next when we return to Police Story. I'm Tracy Gill.
What kind of show is this? We agreed it would be new and refreshing.
But it is new and refreshing.
We're talking about serious police work here. All I've seen are sensational pictures without any depth.
I admit it's a bit rough around the edges. But we will rethink this.
You will rethink it completely.
No problem. That's what we're here for. Tracy will be redoing some of this stuff to give it a clearer picture.
But don't you see this will grab viewers by the throats?
We will look at it again. Won't we, Tracy?
If you say so.
And Tracy, listen to Inspector Chin. He knows what he's doing.
Just what is your problem, Mike?
Is there one?
You like to win, don't you?
Don't you?
Stop answering my questions with a question.
Why? Am I getting on your nerves?
You've been against me from day one. Why?
Open your eyes, Tracy. Don't always look at things through the camera.
I'll have you know I'm very good at what I do.
It's what you don't do that bothers me. You don't show how it's like for a father to lose his only daughter to AIDS. You don't show his pain, his anguish. What you do show It's blood, gore, and a half-dressed woman. You have a real eye for detail, Tracy.
Look, whatever message you have to tell the audience, you can just shove it down their throats, can you? You want to tell people that crime doesn't pay. Fine. But they won't listen to you unless you wrap up your message in an interesting package. It's all in the presentation.
Oh, blood, gore, and half-naked women. That's your idea of a presentation.
I'm just trying to be a little less dry in my approach to crime writing. Is it wrong?
A man finding his daughter has AIDS. That's dry to you?
That is depressing. Do people have to come home and watch something so depressing?
Well, I'm sorry, the world out there is not as light-hearted as you would like it to be.
Don't patronize me.
Then don't trivialize the reality, Tracy.
That bed was the place he took my jewelry. That's why I burnt it down. Just killing him was too easy. Can you understand why I did what I did, Sergeant?
I have a daughter of my own. I know how you feel.
I can't cure her. I couldn't take away her pain.
Killing him that way wouldn't cure her either.
Julie used to play the piano so beautifully. After she got AIDS, hardly a single note. That's why I cut off his hands.
Why didn't you tell her she had AIDS?
I wanted her to enjoy whatever time she had left. I didn't want her to think about death and dying. You think Julie will ever forgive me?
She's outside now. She's been waiting for 2 days to see you. Dr. Wee, father to father, can I ask you something? When you cut off his head, was it just so that we couldn't identify him?
I cut off his head so that his soul will never have peace.
A Mediacorp Studios production for Channel 5.